guys, so I have been seeing a lot of different videos floating around about makeup starter kits, and a lot of them featured some really great products, but I personally would recommend some things that were a little bit different, so I thought I would go ahead and film my take on it. So this is going to be a starter kit, and it's going to be all drugstore products. So most of these products can be purchased for under $10 at your local drugstore, or they're easy to get online for the same price. So my first section is going to be face products. So to start off, I'm going to start with a primer, and my favorite primer is from the drugstore, and it's the Rimmel Fix and Perfect Pro. And I really like this primer. I think this would be really good for dry or normal skin. I'm not 100% positive how it would work on oily skin because it isn't as drying as a lot of my other primers are, but this is my personal favorite. This works best for me. My skin is normal to dry depending on the day, and then there are other days where it can be a little bit more on the combination side where I do get a little bit of oiliness in my T-zone, but nothing that this can't handle. So I really like this. I think a primer is really, really important, especially where I live, because it is usually really hot outside and makeup has a tendency to kind of melt in this weather. So this really helps it kind of stay in place, but also looks really natural and provides a nice flat canvas for foundation to go on top of. And then next, for foundation, I really, really love the Neutrogena Healthy Skin, and this is a product that definitely has a cult following here on YouTube. And it's for a good reason. It's a great foundation. I've heard that this is comparable to the NARS Sheer Glow. I've personally only tried the Sheer Matte, so I wouldn't really know, but it doesn't give a ton of coverage, but I prefer to get a foundation that has light to medium coverage and then kind of layer it. That way I can also add concealer or powder in any extra areas that need a little bit more coverage, because I don't think that every single inch of my skin should be completely 100% covered. I don't really like that look, so I really, really do like the Neutrogena Healthy Skin, just because it does give some coverage, but it's not cakey looking, and it's just very natural and wearable, and I feel like my skin can breathe when I wear this foundation, so really recommend that. So if I were to recommend a concealer to someone who's just starting out or just wants to get like the bare minimum amount of product, I would definitely recommend the Maybelline Mineral Power Concealer, just because the Age Rewind is fantastic, and Maybelline did do a really good job with that concealer. However, it really is only for your under eye. It's not really meant for covering blemishes or discoloration on the rest of your face. So if you use that on the rest of your face, I have before, and it's worked really well, but a lot of people have said that they've really had a hard time getting it to cover anything else, and it just looked wrong. And that's not really what it's intended for, because it is for under eye area. But if you're looking for a really good multifunctional concealer, I would definitely recommend the Mineral Power. It can go anywhere and cover just about anything. So I really, really like this concealer. If you're using a light to medium foundation, I think it's okay to use a powder that has some coverage as well. That way it can kind of finish off and set your makeup, but also give you a little bit of extra coverage in case you're feeling like you need it. And the amount of coverage you can get with this depends on what kind of brush you use. This is a product that I've been using since I started wearing makeup. It is the only drugstore powder that I've personally enjoyed, and it is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder. And I'm in the shade W5. This is in the shade W6, but my W5 is currently covered in hair dye. I mean, I really do enjoy this powder. It's just a pretty basic powder. I really like it. I really like kind of setting my makeup with this, or if you don't feel comfortable wearing a liquid foundation, you could always just apply some concealer on your problem areas and then take a really dense brush and then apply this as if it were your foundation. And as long as your skin is moisturized and primed, you should be good to go. Like, that would be perfect for every day. I have personally walked out of the house with just this as my foundation before, and it works really well. So I would definitely compare this to the MAC Studio Fix. Ooh, I think I might like the texture of this just a bit more. But if you're just starting out and you want a good face powder, I would definitely recommend the L'Oreal True Match powders. They are pretty fantastic. And my next face product, these are mostly cheek products that I'm going to be talking about. And I really, really love the Milani bronzer. This is the XL, the bronzer XL, I believe is what it's called. The name's really faded. This is one of the first makeup items I ever purchased, and it's lasted me forever. And I pretty much use this almost every day for a really long time. And obviously I switched off to other bronzers, but like, this is gonna last you a really long time. It is a little bit scented when you first get it, but it does go away, and if you just leave it open next to vinegar, it should take away the scent if it really bothers you, but it didn't really bother me too much. It does have a little bit of a shimmer, but it's not super intense glittery shimmer, and if you swatch both sides, it's a really pigmented bronzer. Obviously this is really orange, so if you're a little bit warmer, this bronzer would be really good for you. If you are on the cooler side, I would probably just stick with this side, but you could also just swatch both of them and you get like a nice happy medium between the two. So I really like this bronzer. It's really pigmented. Honestly, I remember there was a time where I would use this as an eyeshadow just because it was really pretty and it's really super pigmented. So I really like this bronzer and it will last you forever. And then my favorite blush from the drugstore would have to be the Milani Baked Blush. This one is in Dolce Pink and they're just so gorgeous in the pan and they're also so gorgeous on the skin. Here's it swatched on my finger. It's just a really pretty shimmery pink. Really love this, and I also like this because you don't have to apply a highlighter, which is part of my daily routine, because it has such a pretty like sheen to it and it does make your skin glow really wonderfully. If you aren't really a fan of super shimmery blush, NYX makes really great matte blushes. Let me see if I can find a clean finger. This is in the shade Peach, so this is what this looks like. And then swatched right here. I don't know why they called this peach. It definitely looks like a cool toned pink to me, but regardless, they're really soft and easy to work with. They're very pigmented. They do make shimmery blushes as well, but if you are looking for a matte blush, their matte blushes are fantastic. They also have really great cream blushes. Any of those would be great basics. If you are looking for a 2-in-1 product, the e.l.f. Contouring Blush and Bronzer Kit is pretty fantastic, but it's got like a peachy shimmery blush and a really super pigmented contouring shade right here. I would personally prefer to use a really light fluffy brush. I won't actually put it on, but I would take like my Sonia Kashuk powder brush and I would hold it at the very end and then just like sweep across it once and then tap that off and then apply it, just because it is such a pigmented, super saturated color. Like, bam. Holy moly, wow. And then the blush is pretty so-so. On a brush it works really well. If you are looking for a really neutral, natural kind of application, this blush would be really nice just because it's pretty pigmented, but it's not super saturated as the contouring color. But if you're looking for a 2-in-1 product, this was $3. It's a complete steal. Sorry, I'm like killing you with the reflecting, but yeah, it's a really fantastic product, and especially if you're just starting out. Moving on to lip products. If you're going to get into lip products, you absolutely have to invest in a really good lip balm. I obviously am obsessed with my Jack Black one, but from the drugstore, I used to swear by the Nivea lip balms. They come like this. They're fantastic, and I love the way that my lips looked after putting it on and just the way they felt, and lip product just like goes on so well after using them. It's still probably one of my favorite lip balms, and it's just clear, and it's very smooth. I can't put it on now because I have lip product on, but it's just a wonderful lip balm. And I think if you're going to put any kind of lip product on, you need to have a lip balm on first, just because if you put lipstick on after, it's gonna go into the cracked crevices of your lips and it's not gonna look very nice, it's not gonna apply very well, and you also might scrape up the lip bullet. And then as far as other lip products go, I really love the Revlon lip butters. I mean, everyone pretty much does. I would recommend 2 shades out of those just to start off with. I think you need to have a kind of a designated nude color and then a bright for when you want to kind of dress up and brighten up your looks. So my 2 shades are Creme Brulee, which is this nude color, and then Berry Smoothie, which is this really pretty pink berry color. I think these are absolute standards and everyone should have these. So it's a really nice brown toned nude. It's like a peachy brown nude and it's beautiful. I will swatch it on my hand for you. That's what that looks like. And obviously they are lip butters, so they are very moisturizing, so there's definitely a sheen to them. And I know I've shown Berry Smoothie in one of my favorites videos, so I don't want to get into it too much, but I do want to swatch it really quickly for you, just so you can kind of see. I'm a huge fan of these. These are my 2 favorite shades, and I would definitely recommend to put them in a starter kit. If you're looking for something a little bit more classic and a little bit more matte, I really love the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams. And this is in the shade Antwerp, and it has a really funky name, but it's a really great basic color. It's a nice pink, and I will swatch it next to Berry Smoothie. These go on really well. It's like a liquid lipstick, basically. So here's that swatched right there. They're super pigmented, easy to work with, great product. Probably my favorite, one of my favorite lip products from NYX. For some odd reason, eyeshadows don't really show up on my eyes very well or on my skin in general. So I am definitely someone that strongly relies on a really good eyeshadow base slash primer. I have tried a few different kinds. I've tried the one from Benefit and I've tried the Urban Decay Primer Potion. However, out of all of the primers that I have used, I absolutely adore the NYX HD Shadow Base. I'm sorry mine's a little bit battered, but it's a great product. It's my favorite one, and I honestly use this every day. I would say my only complaint is it does come in this doe foot applicator. I feel like I'm losing a lot of product that's still in here, so I would prefer if they changed it to a squeezy tube. But just for using it on other people, it's really difficult to use a doe foot, you know, product and be sanitary, so that kind of sucks. But if you're just using it for yourself, it's a great staple. It helps your eyeshadow stay. It prevents creasing. For me, it makes the colors way more vibrant. It makes them actually show up. And it's also really good for putting under concealer as well for my under eye area. I really like it for that as well. So this is a fantastic product. Also, if you are starting off with makeup and you haven't used this before and you do try to use it, make sure you let it sit for a minute. Like I would say while it's sitting there, maybe like exfoliate your lips or like wash your hands or something and just like let it chill for a while, because if you do apply eyeshadow immediately after applying it, it's gonna have the opposite effect. You need to give it a second to kind of set. That way it's prepped and ready for eyeshadows to be put on top. So just keep that in mind. I love eyeshadow. Eyeshadow is probably my favorite product, and it's honestly one of the main products that I don't mind spending a little bit more money on, just because they last a really long time and they do have a really high shelf life. My favorite drugstore eyeshadows would hands down have to be the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. I think this is fantastic for a starter kit because you do have your neutrals. So if you really want to just take it real easy, you can just use these top two shades and then kind of work your way into the darker shades. I think these three eyeshadows right here are perfect for an everyday kind of look. And then if you're ever feeling adventurous, you can always, you know, go over to the green. And the green eyeshadows are really beautiful. Like this duochrome one is crazy. Like look at those. They're wonderful and they're super buttery and super pigmented, easy to work with. They are pretty long wearing if you wear them over that HD primer, but I can't say enough good things. And this pink color, like I wish I had do I have a free finger? This pink color is incredible. Like look how beautiful that is. I can't even. I've run out of things to even. It's beautiful. Really great staple, I would say, in any starter kit. I think everyone should own this palette. It's fantastic, and you can do so many different things with this because you do get 8 eyeshadows, and this thing is only $5. Like I can't. So yeah, really recommend any of the Wet n Wild shadows, but I think if you're just starting out and you want one eyeshadow palette to really get you going, I would definitely recommend that palette. And then next for eyeliner, if you are looking for a pencil liner, the Milani Liquify pencils are fantastic. I only have this brown stumpy one with me. I can't find my black one, but it's really super pigmented. I'm running out of places to swatch, and I'm kind of looking like a crazy woman, but it's really super saturated. They're really creamy. You do have to sharpen them quite often, and I get a little lazy about that, but they do have retractable ones that work just as well. So if that's an issue for you, you can always go, revert to the retractable ones. But they're great pencils, especially if you want to put it on your top lash line and kind of blend it out to do a smoky eye. Fantastic pencils to do that. They're really blendable, smudgeable. I don't know what the proper word for that is, but they're great. And then next would be an eyelash curler. I do not have a drugstore eyelash curler. I used to have a Revlon one, but I lost it because I upgraded to a Japanesque one. But I would say an eyelash curler. The Revlon one is pretty nice. Just make sure you buy those extra little beds to put into it, because you do run through those. I think having an eyelash curler in a starter kit is absolutely essential, just because when you curl your eyelashes, it really opens your eyes. Everyone's got pretty eyes. You want to make sure that people can see it and you can accentuate them as much as possible. And something so simple like curling your lashes can really help with that. And then for mascara, I have long lashes, but they're very straight and they don't curl very well. The L'Oreal Voluminous mascara, this is the one with the curved brush. I'm trying this one out, but I absolutely would swear by the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. It's a great mascara, and I can't decide if I like the curved or the straight brush better, but the formula is the same, and it's just a pretty standard kind of deal. But this is really great. If you have longer eyelashes and you want something to kind of make them stand out and give you a little bit more volume or a lot more volume, I would definitely recommend this mascara. It's great. I really love this mascara. This is probably one of my favorite ones. If you do have shorter lashes, I do recommend the CoverGirl Lash Blast though, which is that, orange tube. A lot of people really like that one, and I've used that one on my roommate who has kind of shorter lashes. It makes her lashes look really nice. I think if you want to start out with makeup, you might struggle with taking off these products because you're like, oh, what is all this on my face? How do I take it off? I don't know what to do. Sonia Kashuk Eye Makeup Remover, really fantastic. I would take this and a cotton bud and just like sit it on your eye and let it take off all of your makeup and just let it work and break everything down. And then like after you've let it sit for like 30 seconds, like wipe it away and then just wash your face as normal. That should honestly help a ton. If you do wear a ton of eyeliner like I do, you might have to go back in with a Q-tip, but I have found that this works really well. All of the products that I mentioned are listed below, as well as where you can buy them, so go ahead and check out the doobly-doo. If I did forget something, or you do have a question about something, feel free to let me know in a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I think that's pretty much it. So I do hope you guys found this helpful and that you are doing wonderfully and having fun with your summer, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.